thank you very much for agreeing to just chat with us and tell all our viewers. Would you mind just first saying what you're doing here at the University of Southampton, and also what made you get involved with Eric the Rhino?
Yeah, so I'm a research fellow on the Patina project, which does work with archaeologists. So they're basically developing mobile note-taking tools for researchers. So it's mainly working in Python and JavaScript and working with provenance, so sort of seeing how things change over time.
That's cool.
Not my day job. But so the Rhino project, how did I get involved? I guess I've always been sort of interested in sort of getting together with like other developers at the university. It's quite a nice chance to get like a whole pool of different skills together and make interesting things. So in my previous sort of life, I was a games developer on a thing called Moshi Monsters, where we had little like monsters with like sort of behaviour. So like sort of little mini Tamagotchi.
Okay. It's quite a natural progression then.
It is, yeah. So like some ideas I couldn't do for Moshi Monsters have sort of led their way into this sort of brain.
Well, it's certainly unravelled to be a quite interesting project anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I understand that you're on the brain team.
Yes.
Not assuming you're one of the clever people here. No, obviously the Erica's brain. But can you just sort of give us an overview of what you've sort of managed to do so far and how it's going to work actually in the Rhino?
Mm-hmm. So the idea with the brain of the Rhino is we want to have a way for people to like little behaviours, so we can almost say how the Rhino is going to react to things happening to it. So we want it to be really simple. So you have a tiny little scripting language, so anyone can write a behaviour and put it onto the Rhino and see how it affects things. So it might be that maybe you feed it a certain thing, or it sees a person, or it hears a noise, and that'll affect how it reacts based on what's happened during the course of a day. So the Rhino has 2 memories, so it can remember about 10 things that happen in the short term. So like if you sort of feed it 10 times, it'll remember that. But it can also remember cumulative stuff that's happened over the course of a day. So the idea is that like maybe at opening time in the morning it'll always be a blank slate, so it won't remember being fed. It'll be quite hungry and it could be grumpy and it'll be sort of waiting for someone to come along and talk to it basically.
Okay.
And so we have those 2 memories, and the idea is that these behaviours can pick up on events happening and then look at and see what's happened and then sort of tell it how to react. Yeah.
Great. So I guess you kind of just making helping the Rhino be more interactive and helping people sort of build really, really simple behaviours into the Rhino, so you can extend it, and that's great.
Yeah.
So what have you got to show us here?
So I've got this is a really simple example so far, where we have a few stats. So you'll see at the top here we have basically like sort of key value things. So we have a stat which has a name like happiness or tiredness or hunger, and a numeric value.
Great.
We have a long-term memory, which is all the events that have happened so far today. So it's been fed 22 times.
Hungry Rhino.
It's scanned 5 items. It's been tickled once. And we have a short-term memory, which contains, I think, about 10, maybe slightly more things that have happened, sort of, which is basically remembered. So it forgets everything after a certain time, just to keep it sort of lightweight and simple.
Right, okay.
And it means the Rhino can forget things, which is quite nice, because if, say, someone comes up to an hour later, they want to have a similar sort of experience to the people who were there before. Whereas if it happened, then yeah.
And these are just the scripts that you've made, so these can just be extended. So you've got tiredness, feeding, and happiness there.
Yeah. So basically, anyone, ideally, if people can come in and make their own behaviours for the Rhino, then we can just add them into the Rhino and let it expand it. So can
you show us an example of one of those behaviours?
Yeah. So I've got.
How simple are they?
Let's have a look. So the tiredness of that feeding is a good one. This is really simple. In fact, it's incredibly simple so far.
Wow.
So basically, it's tiny. So what it does here is get the short-term memory and get the latest thing to happen. And it says that if I've been fed an item, then make the hunger go down. So it basically gets less hungry the more you feed it. So it's a really simple script. So if I go back to here, and I can just type in fed item there. This is a little test. So I can say fed item here. Press go.
I see, and then that's coming to the short-term memory there at the top.
So now remember it's been fed. The number of items to be fed has gone up by 1, and the hunger's gone down to -2, so it's actually quite full now, probably.
Bit of a bloated Rhino now.
Yeah, exactly. And so these can be anything you want it to be. So it could be, so look, so I've got like a little one here called happiness, this one here. It's actually got that in there. So I can do all sorts of things in here. So I can say, so if Rhino is tickled, then make happiness go up by 1, and maybe stat sadness, for example. And then if I come over here and tickle it, Rhino tickled. we should see. There you go. Sadness is now -1, so he's not sad at all.
Great. He's a happy rhino now.
Yeah, so it's really quick to make little scripts. And the idea is that you might be able to do things like say simple games, for example. So if you feed it a leaf, then feed it a pizza, it might do something. Or if you say someone walks to left hand side and to right hand side, it might sort of snort. Or
Right. Okay.
there's lots of things you can do.
That's great and easy to extend as well. Yeah.
Oh, very easy. Yeah. So hopefully we can have people coming in and making scripts for us, or we can let people contribute their own sort of ideas, and we can just write them up.
Well,
So-
thank you. That sounds great, and I look forward to seeing how that develops and sort of as in the course of the project. Just on a final note, and just to round up, I'm interested. A bit of a random question, but
Yeah.
if you had no sort of time resource constraints, you could buy any part you wanted. What feature would you want to see this rhino have?
Good question. I guess for me, it's like the idea of being able to let people contribute their own things to it. That's sort of like really fun. So be able to like let kids basically like build their own scripts, upload them, and just like sort of see how the rhino reacts. Would be really cool. So like basically having our rhino there with everything attached to it, and almost basically let people build games with it. For example.
Oh, wow.
So like imagine being able to like say that to have like a Morse code translator on the rhino.
Great.
So if you knock a certain sequence, it could do something. A bit like you have cheat codes in games currently.
Right,
So
okay.
it's,
Wow,
lets
that
you
does
add
sound
like
good.
unexpected behaviours that you could like say like I've made this thing to Rhino. If you go down to wherever it is and just like tap in a code, it'll do something.
That sounds great. Well, hopefully we'll see some of this in the future anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you again.